Hello there, negative hoarders, and welcome to Negative Perspective. Today I'm going to go through my bookshelf, and I've bought and sold a lot of photography books from time to time. But some books I've kept and some I really appreciate, so I'm going to speak about those. First of all, I'm going to talk about a photographer that has inspired me since I began taking photos. And that is, in my opinion, one of the kings of black and white, and that is Daido Moriyama. Right now I only have 3 to 4 books of him. The price range on eBay are quite high. He has produced a lot of books in his career, and most of them are really good. But some of the books I think is milestones in photography. If you don't know who he is, he's a photographer that is present now, and he's from Japan. The thing about him is that photography was something else until he came to the scene. Because in the 60s, photography had one approach, and that was like correct exposure, should have focus, and everything has to be so correct. And when he came into the photography world, something changed. He made things out of focus, grainy, very harsh contrasts and such, and that was something new to photography, at least for a long time. And if you look at, for example, one of his earlier books, they have Japanese titles, but I'm not going to pronounce them because I don't know Japanese. Japan, a Photo Theater. It was really interesting how, in contrast to what has been, he did. I mean, grainy, almost surrealistic, very, in a way, dark images. So he is a photographer that mostly works from Tokyo, yet he travels on occasion to different places to do books, and they are just as good in my opinion. He is considered to be the stray dog of Tokyo, and he works a lot in places like Shinjuku and such. So that's a short description of this person who most photographers who is interested in photography a lot knows. So I'll keep some links in the description. Well, first of all, I'll show you one of my favorite books of him. And it looks like this. It's Light and Shadow. It's a book that I've looked at and had about 3 times, and the unique thing about Daido, in my opinion, is that he dares to go beneath the rules, but does it with a great sense of awareness. I mean, if you look at the tones in Daido Moriyama, in my opinion, if you shortly look at them, it's black and white a lot, it's hard contrast. But if you look longer at them, you see the gray tones, and that it is very, very, he knows what he's doing more than most. And the gray tones in the black and white images are so controlled and so good that you can look at this photographer for hours and try to understand how did he do it. It's for example, it's in a documentary I've seen. He was about to exhibit on a place, or so they had developers, and they tried to develop the photography as he did. They came back with the film and had no clue how they should do it. So I mean, they asked Daido, and not even he knew how we did it. So these images are both really spontaneous, but also really well done. So what I mentioned about the whole scene getting transformed after him is that it's whole families of photographers who are inspired by him. I mean, a lot. And he have great accounts on like YouTube where people try to do as him. So he really was important in photography and is. And it was not for nothing he got the Hasselblad Award. The second book here, A Hunter. This book is a bit different from Light and Shadow because he has a lot of more, it's a bit more focus in this, and it's a bit more, in a way, it's a bit more poetic. And I mean, both are excellent books, yet they have a great difference in how he approached photography. Light and Shadow is of course also a book where he started to use a bit more focus in the images, in contrast to the Provoke era, where he, in his beginning of his career, when he released the Provoke signs, or in Farewell Photography, which is one of his best books in my opinion. All through, my favorite book with him, and that is, I don't know the reason for it, but it's beautiful, and that is Reflection and Refraction, or Refraction and Reflection. And that is a book I have but not have here, and it's so beautiful, a lot of flowers in it, and really a bit surrealistic editing or copying. So that's some short things regarding my favorite photographer, or one of, Daido. And someday I would like to, I've seen some of his prints in real life, yet I would love to go to one exhibition of him, because I want to see those prints face to face and learn from them. That was about all for today, and thank you for visiting my channel. If you find this interesting, feel free to subscribe, and please give me a comment or something. I'll drink my coffee now. Cheers.